Have you ever looked at someone in their 70s and thought, how did they age so fast? Just a few years ago, they were laughing, walking, full of energy, and now they seem like a shadow of who they once were. No major illness, no tragic accident, just a slow fading, quiet, invisible, unexplained. And maybe, just maybe, you've started to feel some of that fading in your own body too. But what if I told you that what's stealing vitality from millions of seniors today isn't heart disease or cancer? It's something much more silent, much more personal, and tragically, it's something most people never talk about because they're ashamed or afraid or simply don't know any better. I'm not here to scare you. I'm here to tell you the truth. Because after working with thousands of men and women over 60, there's one thing I've learned that most doctors won't tell you. Aging doesn't begin in the bones, the blood, or even the brain. It begins the moment you disconnect from your body, from the sensations, desires, and quiet whispers it tries to send you. And no, I'm not talking about workouts or diets. I'm talking about the deep human connection to physical pleasure, something that society has wrongly told you to give up on the moment you got older. But here's the secret. You're not supposed to give it up. You're supposed to keep it alive. And when you do, something incredible happens. Your brain lights up, your energy returns, your sleep deepens, your joy returns. This isn't fantasy. It's backed by neuroscience, real-life stories, and decades of experience. So stay with me, because in this video, I'm going to share something most seniors never hear, a hidden key to aging not just longer, but stronger, not just surviving, but feeling truly, deeply alive again. And by the end of this video, I'll show you a simple yet powerful method that has helped countless seniors restore their energy, sharpen their memory, and even revive that spark they thought was lost forever. Trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming at the end. It could change the way you experience the rest of your life. Before we dive in, if this message already speaks to something you felt inside, go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe to join our growing community of strong, vibrant seniors. And let's make this a conversation. Type a short comment below and tell me, I choose to stay vibrant after 60. Just one sentence, one choice. And who knows, your words might give someone else the courage to begin their journey too. Now take a breath, grab a warm cup of tea or coffee, settle in, and let's walk through this together, not as patient and doctor, but as friends sharing something real. Because what you're about to hear may be the most important message your body's been waiting for. Ready? Let's begin. 1. The silent epidemic. Disconnection from physical pleasure. Have you ever noticed how life, little by little, starts to feel smaller? You don't laugh as often. The days blur together. The nights feel colder, even when the heater's on. And somewhere deep inside, a part of you wonders, is this just how aging is supposed to feel? Quiet, number disconnected. But what if I told you this isn't aging? What if I told you this is a symptom of something far more silent? Something that has nothing to do with how old you are and everything to do with what you've lost touch with? Over the years, I've sat across from hundreds of seniors, men and women in their 60s, 70s, 80s. People who once danced at weddings, flirted over coffee, kissed in the rain. Now they sit with a soft ache in their chest, unsure what exactly went missing. And when we dig deeper, we often find the same truth. They've disconnected from their bodies, from touch, from intimacy, from pleasure. Not because they wanted to, but because the world quietly told them to. Our culture sends seniors a cruel, unspoken message. That physical pleasure is for the young. That past a certain age, desire becomes embarrassing. That sensuality is something to be packed away in a box, stored on a dusty shelf, and never opened again. And so, little by little, many obey. They stop reaching for closeness. They stop touching their own skin with curiosity. They stop believing they're worthy of pleasure, affection, and connection. Not because they've changed, but because the rules changed on them, and no one told them why. The consequences? They're devastating, and far more real than most people realize. When we stop responding to physical pleasure, Our body doesn't just shrug and move on. It adapts, and not in a good way. Blood flow to vital tissues slows. Neural pathways tied to sensation begin to fade. Hormonal balance, the very chemistry that protects your heart, your mood, your memory, shifts out of alignment. And from there, the spiral begins. Poor sleep, low energy, cloudy thoughts, a sense of dullness that no vitamin or exercise can quite fix. It's like the color drains out of life, and everything turns gray. And tragically, no one talks about it. Doctors focus on blood sugar, blood pressure, bones, but they forget to ask about joy, about warmth, about human touch. And the seniors who need it most, they stay silent because they've been taught to feel ashamed of something they should feel proud to reclaim. But let me say this, clearly, gently, and with absolute conviction. Physical pleasure is not a luxury. It's a biological need. It's not dirty. It's not foolish. It's one of the most powerful signals that your body is still alive. And when you shut that signal down, you don't just lose pleasure, you lose vitality. You lose part of yourself. But here's the beautiful truth. No matter how long it's been, that connection isn't gone. It's waiting, quietly, patiently, waiting for a moment, this moment, when you finally decide, I still deserve to feel alive. Because you do. And in just a moment, I'm going to show you exactly how to begin reconnecting with your body, not to chase youth, but to reclaim your energy, your confidence, and your joy. So take a breath, because this journey is only beginning. 2. Why masturbation after 60 is critical for longevity. Let me ask you something personal. When was the last time you allowed your body to feel good? Not just comfortable, not just okay, but truly deeply good? You see, after 60, most people begin to believe that this part of life, the part filled with warmth, sensation, and pleasure, is over. They say that was for when I was younger, and with that simple thought, they close the door. But what if I told you that keeping that door open is one of the most powerful ways to protect your health, your mind, and your future? I know, it's not something we're used to talking about, especially not in a world where older adults are expected to be quiet, modest, invisible. But biology doesn't care about social rules. It only responds to one thing, what you give it. And when you give your body pleasure, even solo, even gently, even in private, it gives you something extraordinary in return. The science is crystal clear. Regular sexual expression, including masturbation, activates powerful systems in your body. Blood flows more freely, delivering oxygen to your brain, your heart, your joints. Hormones like testosterone and oxytocin rise, protecting muscle strength, bone density, and emotional stability. Your brain lights up, stimulating areas responsible for memory, creativity, and focus. Endorphins flood your bloodstream, soothing stress and helping you sleep deeply through the night. And you know what all of that means? It means that self-pleasure isn't just about feeling good in the moment. It's about strengthening your entire system, body, mind, and spirit for the years ahead. This is not about lust. This is not about vanity. This is about longevity. It's about giving your body what it needs to stay vibrant. You might be surprised to hear this from a doctor, but after over 30 years of working with seniors, I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt, the ones who stay connected to their bodies live longer, think clearer, and smile more. Not because they're chasing youth, but because they've never stopped listening to the quiet needs of their body. And here's something you need to hear. Just because your body has changed doesn't mean it's broken. Just because you move slower doesn't mean you're less alive. Just because you need a little more patience, a little more gentleness, a little more time, doesn't mean the spark is gone. It means the fire is deeper, quieter, but still burning. When you take time to care for yourself in this way, to reconnect with your body, you're sending a message to every cell inside you. I still matter. I still feel. I still deserve to thrive. And when you believe that, your body believes it too. So the next time someone says, I'm too old for that, I want you to remember this moment and say quietly to yourself, no, I'm still alive, and I choose to stay that way. 3 common misconceptions that steal seniors' vitality. Now maybe you're starting to feel a quiet stirring inside, like something long buried is waking up. But just as that hope begins to rise, so does the voice of doubt. And that doubt isn't really yours. It's the echo of 3 deeply rooted lies that have stolen vitality from millions of seniors. And maybe, without even realizing it, from you too. Let's bring those lies into the light. Let's name them. And then, let's destroy them. Lie number 1. I'm too old for pleasure. This one is the most common. It's slipped into our minds from 100 little places: television, family, doctors, even the way society stops seeing seniors as sensual beings. You start to think, that part of life is behind me. I've had my time. But here's the truth. Pleasure doesn't expire. You may not chase it the same way you did at 25, but your body still remembers how to feel, still craves connection, and still benefits from it in powerful, measurable ways. Your nervous system, your circulation, your hormone levels, they all respond to touch and pleasure, regardless of age. Letting it go because you think you're too old is like throwing away a warm fire in winter because you think you don't deserve the heat. Lie number 2, pleasuring myself is shameful. This one goes deep. Many of us were raised in households where this topic was taboo, where the idea of touching your own body was met with silence, judgment, or outright condemnation. That shame, it doesn't just go away with time, it buries itself deep. But let me say this clearly, as a doctor and as someone who cares deeply about your health, caring for your body fully, intimately, intentionally is not shameful. It is one of the most natural, respectful, life-affirming acts you can do. And when done with mindfulness and gentleness, it's not about lust, it's about healing. Self-pleasure in your 60s, 70s, or 80s is not only okay, it's a sign that you're alive, aware, and honoring your body's continuing needs. Lie number 3, sexuality and health are separate. This is the most dangerous myth of all. Too many people treat intimacy as optional, as something unrelated to real health, but nothing could be further from the truth. In fact, your sexual health is deeply connected to every other system in your body. When you stay connected to this part of yourself, you support stronger immunity, sharper cognition, healthier sleep, better cardiovascular function, and even lower risk of depression. Sexual energy isn't just emotional, it's biological fuel. And when that energy flows, so does vitality. Now here's the good news. The moment you expose a lie, it loses its power. The moment you say, that's not true for me anymore, you reclaim a piece of your strength, your confidence, and your joy. If you've carried these misconceptions for decades, you are not alone. But you don't have to carry them a moment longer. Because the life you want, the energy, the clarity, the warmth, it's not behind you. It's waiting right in front of you. And in the next part of this journey, I'm going to walk you step by step through a process that's helped thousands of seniors like you reconnect with their bodies in a safe, gentle, and deeply empowering way. You ready for that? Let's move forward together. The restoration method. Reclaiming sexual vitality, step by step. Now that you understand just how powerful your body's connection to pleasure truly is, you might be wondering, okay, but how do I begin? Not with pills, not with pressure, not with trying to become the person you were at 30, but with presence, with patience, and with a quiet willingness to listen to the body you live in today. I call it the restoration method. It's a 5-step practice created specifically for seniors, not to push your body, but to invite it home. Because unlike the rush and intensity of youth, this chapter of life asks something different: slowness, softness, and self-respect. Let's walk through it together. Step 1, preparation. Start by creating a space that feels safe, private, peaceful. Choose a warm, quiet room. Dim the lights. Pick a comfortable chair or bed where you feel fully supported. Have a high-quality lubricant within reach, not as a crutch, but as an act of care. When you take the time to prepare your space, you're telling your body, you matter. You're worth showing up for. This first step isn't about the act, it's about intention. And that intention changes everything. Step 2, relaxation. Before you reach for sensation, reach for stillness. Close your eyes, take a deep breath. Slow, steady, full. Let your shoulders drop. Feel the tension leave your chest, your hands, your hips. Breathe again and again. This is not a race. This is a return. And as your nervous system begins to calm, your awareness deepens. The more relaxed you are, the more your body can receive. Step 3. Awakening. Gently place your hands on areas of your body you may have ignored for years. The chest, the stomach, the thighs, the neck. There is no goal here, no agenda, just curiosity. Touch yourself the way you might touch a dear friend, with gentleness, with presence, with kindness. Notice what stirs. Even the smallest flicker of sensation is a sign of life flowing back into places you thought were lost. You are not broken. You are simply reawakening. Step 4. Focused stimulation. When you feel ready, allow yourself to explore more direct contact. No need to rush. Let arousal rise like a tide, slowly, quietly, in its own rhythm. Use slow, mindful movements, not for performance, but for connection. The aim is not climax. The aim is reconnection, to feel, to notice, to be present in your own body, fully, finally, without judgment. Step 5. Integration. Afterward, don't just move on. Stay. Place your hands gently over your heart or belly. Breathe deeply. Let gratitude wash over you, not for what you did, but for what you allowed. You came home to yourself. That is no small thing. That is healing. That is power. You see, this method isn't about chasing lost youth. It's about embracing a wiser, more grounded, more meaningful version of intimacy. One that's rooted in self-respect, not urgency. And once you begin to taste that depth, you'll understand. It was never too late. You were never too far gone. You just needed a way back. And now, you have it. 5. Overcoming challenges. What to expect and how to succeed. Now I'd love to tell you this journey will be smooth, that the moment you begin reconnecting with your body, everything will fall into place perfectly. But real healing doesn't work like that. It rises and dips. It gives you progress, and then tests your patience. That's why I need to prepare you for the road ahead, not to discourage you, but to help you succeed. Because the biggest enemy of restoration is not your body, it's your expectations. The first challenge? Unrealistic expectations. Many seniors begin this journey hoping to feel what they once felt in their 20s. They expect fireworks, intensity, instant results. And when that doesn't happen, they feel disappointed. But here's the truth. Your body has changed. And that's not a flaw, it's a fact. Success now isn't measured by how intense the pleasure is. It's measured by presence, by the ability to feel something, anything, in a place that once felt forgotten. Even a flicker is a flame worth protecting. Second challenge, inconsistency. Some people try once or twice, don't feel much, and give up. But just like a muscle that's been ignored for years, this part of you needs time to wake up. You wouldn't expect to lift weights after a decade and feel strong on day one, right? This is no different. Set aside time 2 or 3 times a week, not as a task, but as an act of kindness. Not because you have to, but because you're worth showing up for. Your body responds to love. The more often you give it, the more it gives back. Third challenge, performance pressure. This one sneaks in quietly. You start thinking, I should be feeling more, or it's not working fast enough, or I need to finish. And that pressure, it shuts your body down, tightens your muscles, closes your breath, disconnects your mind. Let go of the goal. This isn't about finishing anything. It's about feeling something, and even a few seconds of warmth, of aliveness. That's success. That's healing. And finally, you're not shame. This might be the hardest. The quiet voice that says, this is silly. I shouldn't need this. This isn't who I'm supposed to be at this age. But let me ask you something. Who told you that needing pleasure, touch, connection was ever a bad thing? Why should the miracle of feeling alive belong only to the young? If that voice shows up, don't fight it. Don't judge it. Just meet it with kindness. Tell it, I hear you, but I choose something better now. Because here's what I've seen, time and again. The seniors who succeed in this journey aren't the ones with perfect technique or unshakable confidence. They're the ones who show up. They breathe through the awkwardness. They stay gentle with themselves. And they celebrate the small victories. Because those small victories become the foundation of something life-changing. So if it feels hard at first, good. That means you're stretching into new territory. That means you're growing. That means you're healing. And you're not alone. Because in just a moment, I'm going to help you take this practice even further, into something even deeper. A complete system for restoring your energy, your confidence, and your joy at any age. And believe me, you won't want to miss what comes next. So here we are, not at the end of the journey, but at the beginning of something much deeper. Maybe today, for the first time in years, you allowed yourself to believe, I still matter. I still feel. I still deserve to be alive in every sense of the word. You see, the greatest tragedy of aging isn't the wrinkles, or the gray hair, or the slower steps. It's the quiet way people start to dim their own light. They stop reaching for joy. They stop listening to what their body needs. They stop believing they're worthy of pleasure, of connection, of more. But today you've taken a powerful step in the opposite direction. You've chosen to awaken, to reclaim the sacred connection between your body and your spirit, to say, I'm still here, and I choose to live fully. The truth is, everything you need to thrive is still within you, not locked away, not gone, just waiting patiently for you to return. And when you do, your body responds, your heart softens, your mind clears, your sleep deepens, your joy returns. That's not a theory. That's your biology. That's your birthright. So what's next? Start small, stay curious, be gentle, and most of all, keep showing up. Because every breath of awareness, every moment of reconnection, every act of kindness toward yourself is a victory, a seed, a spark. And together they become a life that feels truly yours again. If today's message touched something inside you, I invite you to take one small action right now. Type in the comments, I choose to stay vibrant after 60. Just that one line. Your words might be the sign someone else desperately needs to read today. Let's fill this space with light and courage. And if this video brought you insight, hope, or healing, please take a moment to like, subscribe, and tap the bell so you never miss the messages that matter most. Your support helps this community grow, helps this message reach others, and helps bring dignity and power back to the way we age. And if you feel moved to do more, you're welcome to support the channel through Super Thanks. Every gift, no matter how small, helps us continue creating videos that empower, uplift, and restore. In the next video, we'll explore something just as intimate and powerful, how daily touch, not just sexual, but emotional and relational, can reverse stress, reduce pain, and even lower the risk of memory loss. So stay close. You won't want to miss it. Because here's the final truth I want to leave you with. You are not too old. You are not too late. You are not fading. You are still here. And you still deserve a life filled with warmth, connection, and joy. Thank you for being here today. Thank you for choosing yourself. And until next time, stay kind, stay curious, and never forget, you deserve happiness. You deserve fullness. You deserve a life that feels truly yours. See you in the next video.